Good day, my fellow entrepreneurs, and you're welcome to yet another exciting episode of The Entrepreneur with IBM Bangis. I am IBM Bangis, and I remain your host for this show. Now, today on this episode of The Entrepreneur, we'll be discussing one of the most problematic issues for people who are trying to succeed out there, or people who are trying to go into business. In fact, one of the biggest dream killer, as they call it, and an illness that has affected so many of us, which is procrastination. Now, procrastination is the art or the action of pushing something into the future which you are supposed to do now and giving yourself a justification to why you did that. Because of procrastination, there will be books that will never be written. There will be movies we will never watch. There will be inventions we will never see. There will be poems we will never listen to, and so many other things out there that we will never get to see because those people who are supposed to have started them push them way into the future. Now, a lot of people constantly find themselves in this situation of trying to overcome procrastination. But I think for you to overcome it, you have to first of all understand it. Procrastination is basically a product of you yourself telling yourself that you are not good enough. You yourself not believing in yourself. You yourself telling yourself that the timing is not right or things are not being done right the way they're supposed to do. So most of the times you end up pushing those things that you're supposed to do into the future as to doing them right now. So one of the most important things in life or in business is for you to just start. Whatever it is that you want to do out there, you just need to start. And starting has to do with understanding why you're doing something. In business, we believe that if you can come up with a strong enough list of whys to why you're doing what you're doing, then the how can be easy. Don't worry yourself about how you're going to do this or how you're going to do that. Just start whatever it is that you want to do. And in fact, for you to deal with procrastination, I think you need to imagine or see yourself as a 1-year-old kid who is trying to work. At that particular point in time, you're filled with so much adrenaline as a kid because every single person around you is working and you also want to work. Now, the first thing you do is you stand up and you take that first bold step. But the normal thing is you're going to fall down. And then what do? You get back up and you take the step again. And then you still fall down. And then you keep taking that step. But each time you take the step, you'll be a little bit more prepared than you were before. You'll be a little bit more equipped with much more experience than you were before. So, ladies and gentlemen, or let me say my viewers back home, procrastination is a dream killer. So try as much as you can to do away with it. Now today I'm overly excited because I have someone amazing in the studio here today with me. A superwoman, if I will call her, someone who is changing lives in people's homes and has touched in a lot of households. But I won't be bringing her on until after the show, until after the break. So stay tuned after the break. So you're welcome back from the break. And just before the break, I was discussing procrastination. I did mention that procrastination is a dream killer. And one way for you to be able to deal with procrastination is to set deadlines for yourself. If you have something that you want to do, just tell yourself that in so amount of time, you should be able to do that thing. And there should be consequences when you set those deadlines. If you aren't able to achieve those things that you say you want to do, you should be able to at least punish yourself. Like I, for example, I love playing sport. I love my sport. So when I set a deadline for myself and I don't hit it, then I deprive myself of going to play sport. I did also mention that I have someone exciting here. I have someone amazing in the studio here today with me, a superwoman, if you call her, an entrepreneur, a marriage coach, and a life coach, the person of Madam, or let me say Mrs. Jyda Mahuta. Mrs. Jyda, you're welcome to the Entrepreneur with IBM Bangis.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I did mention, or let me say I did introduce you, but I will say I didn't do justice to that introduction. So could you just tell us more about yourself?
Okay, like you said, my name is Jyda Mahuta. I'm a life coach, a marriage and relationship counselor or therapist, and I'm also an NLP master practitioner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Okay, so now just before I brought you in, I was talking about procrastination. So, shall I call you Coach Jyda?
Yeah.
Okay, so okay. Coach Jyda, how have you ever been able, or let me say, was there a time when you were faced with this problem of procrastination, and how did you overcome it?
Oh yeah, a lot of times. We're all human. So there was a time I remember, a lot of times, even last week, I was able to overcome procrastination.
Okay.
What I usually do is the moment I have a goal and I notice that I'm procrastinating on it, I'm dragging my feet on it, I first sit down and ask my why, like you said. I ask myself my why. I re-clarify my why. I ask myself, why am I procrastinating? Does it align with my values or does it go against my values? Most times, if you dig deeper, you get to understand and realize that my goal, there is a part of it that doesn't really align with my core values. And the thing that I just do is I realign it, I change it a bit so that it realigns with my value, and then I just go ahead and I find out that I overcome the procrastination and I go ahead and do it. Yeah.
Okay, well, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you did mention that you're a life coach and a marriage counselor, and also,
Yeah.
what first got you into your current venture right now?
Okay. Like I said, okay, I didn't mention that I used to be an entrepreneur. I travel all over. I go to different countries to source for things, and then I come back in here like I'm an importer. So after years of doing that, I got pregnant. I got pregnant and I stopped because after getting married, I didn't get pregnant immediately. So when I got pregnant, I know that if I don't settle down, if I continue going up and down the country, like people are going to blame me if anything happens to that pregnancy.
Exactly.
So I told myself that I need to settle down. I need to focus on this baby. So I took like 2 years off and I focused on raising my child. Then after then, I realized that I'm not used to this sedentary kind of life. I'm not used to just sitting at home doing nothing. I know that, bringing up a child is very difficult. It's like it takes a lot out of you, but then it wasn't really enough for me. I wasn't really using my brain. Then I started doing research on depression, because then I think I was even starting to getting into depression because like I don't have anything to do. Day in, day out, I sit at home. He wasn't in school then, so all I do is just sit at home, take care of him. He sleeps. I do this, I do that. Like I stopped reading. I stopped doing a lot of things. So I started researching what I was going through. I started getting deep into the things that I started getting deep into the research. I started attending like all these mini seminars that was online before it. Exactly. And I started understanding that this is something that I came across the word life coach, and I was like, oh wow, there is something. There are people who do this for a living. Then I started I get into the research. I started going on courses, and then here I am.
Okay, well, amazing. Well, actually, if you look at it now, we don't have a lot of life coaches, especially in this part of the country.
Yes.
So how is the reception so far? Are people accepting it, or are you facing challenges and issues trying to incorporate it into what people would normally call normal?
Yes, at first there were a lot of challenges. People don't even know what that is. And the moment you call charges, people will be like, you charge for just giving advice? This is something that my grandmother can easily tell me. I was like, oh wow, really? Your grandmother can do that? But then now, going deeper into it, like people are gradually accepting it. There are some people that would rather come to me than to go to to bloggers out there to give out their stories without getting like the professional advices they need. So actually, the reception is much more better than before right now, because
things are getting better.
Yes, things are getting better, because if I allow it, the moment I get up after my prayers, I would be answering or attending to people till late at night.
Wow.
Yes. Wow. People are really getting used to it now.
Okay, so is your husband supportive about that? Because answering calls.
Oh yeah, he is actually. But I stop work at 6 o'clock. I don't entertain anything at 6, and I start work at 10 o'clock. So from 6 to 10 o'clock the next morning, it's our family time actually. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Well, actually, if you look at it now, a venture like yours is very fulfilling, because you're getting to change people's lives and all. But I'm sure it also has its own challenges and problems. Okay, so when it gets hard, what keeps you going?
Well, when it gets difficult, I draw back. I literally draw back. I stop answering my phone. I just take a step back and I relax. I sleep. I watch movies. I read, because reading is healing for me. It's something that it's my escape actually. So I read. I spend time with my family. I try as much as I can, no matter how bad I want it. I don't answer people. I sleep a whole lot. I exercise. I eat, and then after a time, my body will literally tell me that I'm ready to get back into it. And yes. I go back. And then I have access to a lot of tools, NLP tools, that really, really do help me, yeah. So I do a lot of like breathing exercises, meditation, and a lot of things that will take you from the state that you are in to another state entirely.
Okay,
yeah.
NLP, you mentioned NLP. NLP, is it like
it's
something?
It's actually neuro-linguistic programming. It's sort of a language of the brain and a sort of a different language.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's good. Well, you know, actually, if you look at it now, especially in Nigeria right now, we believe men should do a lot of things.
Yeah.
So what is your take on this statement, "It's a man's world"? Do you believe in that statement, or because you're doing things contrary to that statement? So what's your take on that statement?
I believe outwardly it's a man's world. Yes, yes, it's a man's world. But then the world is ruled by women, literally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that, but I don't think I believe that.
It is. It is ruled by women. Yes.
Okay.
Because you're giving birth, your mom is a woman and she has a lot of control over you.
Of course.
You have a wife.
Exactly.
And even if you want to believe it or not, your wife has a lot of control over you.
Exactly.
So whatever decisions you take as a man, they are ruled from behind, like behind closed doors by women. All of your decisions and most of the things that decisions that you arrive at, like at the end of the day, we have a lot to do with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, actually, if you look at it, to be honest with you, I do believe, I do agree with you that women are doing a lot. In fact, I do celebrate all the women out there who are striving and trying to achieve different things in life. But then I don't think I would take in the world is being run by women and stuff. Okay, so now let's talk about your achievement, Coach Jyda. Now, till date, what are some of your biggest achievements you've had?
My
since
biggest
inception of this venture?
achievement is making the decision to open my Instagram page,
okay,
which actually helps people each and every second of the day, whether I'm sleeping, whether I'm awake, whether I traveled, whether I do log on.
Exactly.
There are people that literally depend on that page to survive, like mentally, emotionally, psychologically.
Exactly.
If I don't make a post, if I don't make a video, like they push me.
They keep
Jyda, what is wrong?
for it, right?
Yes, what is wrong? Are you there? You didn't post today. You didn't do anything. We need that video. We need this. We need that. And another achievement is the fact that I have been able to do a lot in terms of the marriage as an institution. I have been able to actually help save a lot of marriages. I've been able to actually help bring peace to a lot of people, which actually is
very fulfilling, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is.
Well, interesting. Actually, I think I've come across your Instagram page, about 15,000 followers and growing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, interesting, interesting. Okay, so, well, you know, given your venture, you know, the fact that you're taking in so much problems, I think when you're absorbing people's problems, in time, you yourself will get to be in a particular problem.
Yeah, overwhelmed.
Okay, so, like, was there ever a time that you wanted to give up, and then what stopped you from giving up?
No, there was never a time.
Okay.
I can never ever see myself not doing what I'm doing right now. Like I can't see myself growing old doing what I do. Like I told you, NLP, as I said, not a lot of people know about it, but they are basically the tools that I use for therapy and the other kind of things to help a person from where they are right now to where they want to be. So whenever I get overwhelmed, I have those tools that will transport me from a state of being overwhelmed to a state of being like gingered and everything. So really, yeah, I'm not going to deny that I get overwhelmed. I'm not going to deny that there are a lot of trials that come my way while on this job that I am doing. But then there was never a day that I wake up and say, no, I'm tired. No. There was never a day. Yeah.
And you know, you keep mentioning this NLP and you have some tools. So are they like physical tools or?
No, they're not. Actually, they're just like mental tools. They're just like, to see it is to believe it, but they perform magic, a whole lot of magic
you
actually.
That they work?
Yes, they work. 100%.
Oh, interesting.
Well, let's say 99.
Okay, no problem. I think I'll try and check them out.
Yes, please.
Okay, so, you know, actually, if you look at it, I think in this part of the country, one of the major problems for women out there, especially married women, is looking for something else to do outside of their marriage. In fact, marriage gets so challenging, or let me say, so time-consuming that they don't even have time to do other things out there.
Yeah.
And some other times also, you know, it could just be that, okay, it's not the timing aspect, it's just the thought of what will people say if I'm doing this? What will people say if I'm doing that? So what advice will you give to women out there who are trying to start out something, or let me say a business venture or whatever it is, but they keep stopping themselves because of the thought of what are people going to say about this or about that?
One fact remains, and the thing that I always tell myself, the thing I always tell my clients is that people will talk no matter what you do.
Exactly, no matter what you do. If you do good or do bad, people will still talk.
As long as what you want to do is ecological. What I meant by ecological is that it doesn't affect any other person. It doesn't affect you negatively. It doesn't go against your religion or tradition, culture, or whatever you believe in. Then definitely just go ahead and do it. Close your eyes and just go ahead and do it. At the beginning, the people are going to like push away from it because it's something new, or it's they're not used to seeing you do it. Then definitely they would rebel against it. But gradually as time goes on, as you keep pushing, you get to understand that it's a good thing, and then people would want to come towards you. People would want to learn how you started. Like most times if I want to make my videos, there are some topics that go against maybe our culture or really not really religion, you know, culture and tradition. Yes, and then I'll be like, should I say this, should I say that? But then I tell myself, if I say this thing, how many people is it going to help? If I say this thing, what am I scared of? What is that? What is the, like, am I going against my religion? Is this going to help our society? Is it going to help our people? If all these things I ticked it right, then I just close my eyes and I go ahead and I do it and I feel better, and a lot of people like accept it.
Okay, wow, wow, interesting. Okay, now you mentioned you make your videos. So how do you come up with topics of your videos? Do you have to sit down and maybe crack your head and come up with topics, or do you just look at what is happening around us, or do you just come up with topics anyhow?
Oh yeah, that is a good one, and I did realize that it was a gift that I was given, because these things come easy to me. There are times that my brain just like it just comes like from my subconscious mind, and a topic will just come and be like, okay, talk about this. And then a lot of the other topics, they come from the people that I talk with. That if I notice that there is a certain trend that, okay, there was a time that young girls used to reach out to me needing help, having problems with their parents, this and that. And I noticed that in a week, like a large number of students, teenagers would reach out to me with that certain kind of problem, and I was like, no, this is something that I need to make a video on. This is something that the world needs to know, like our people needs to know. So that is how it happens. Maybe in terms of marriage, maybe in terms of, that was another one I made about exes, and I realized that there was a certain trend that people are married and then they are still hung up over their exes, and I was like, what the hell?
I actually came across that on Instagram,
Yes, it was a trend that I noticed that it was something that the people who reach out to me would be like, okay, I'm married, but I think that I should have married my ex, this and that. I said, okay, why didn't you marry him? They'll be like, okay, he wasn't financially suitable, my parents, my this and that, but I feel that if I had married him, all these problems wouldn't be having them. And I was like, why do you think that? Your problems might not be this certain set of problems that you have with your present husband, but then there could be
with the other person
definitely
also.
You definitely would have another set of problems. Like no one is perfect, no marriage is perfect.
Of course, definitely. Okay, so you come up with your topics with people reaching out to you,
with people reaching out, and then sometimes when I'm sleeping, this REM sleep, this early morning when you wake up and then your brain is all ready for the day, or when I was about to node off, or when walking in the kitchen, or when doing my day-to-day, things just pop up, and I make use of them.
Okay, well, you know, they said in the beginning was the word. So how much do you believe in the power of words, things we tell ourselves?
Yes.
So how much do you believe in the power of that?
I do wholly believe in the power of words. Yes, I do wholly believe in them. We call them affirmations. There are words that you say to yourself. Even not the things that you say to yourself, even the things that you tell your kids, even the things that you say to your brothers, your sisters, your siblings. Words are so powerful in the sense that I don't want to take course into the subconscious mind. It's a topic that I'm so fascinated by. But then our subconscious mind is always working. Whether you're sleeping, whether you're awake, whatever you're doing, your subconscious mind is up and doing, and it's recording. Like I'm talking to you right now, a lot of things are happening and my subconscious mind is absorbing them. So whatever you say, you might say a word to yourself or a word to someone and you think it's insignificant, but it has been recorded. And our words manifest in our lives. Whatever you say to yourself, you see it. Whatever you say to yourself, you become it. Whatever you say to your child becomes that word that you keep repeating to them. So I need us all, before we utter any word, I need us all to understand and think over, chew our words before we speak them to someone else or you say them to yourself. Because our words are very, very powerful, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so Coach Jyda, thank you so much for this interesting session. This is not the end of it, but we're going to take a short break, and after the break, we'll continue our discussion with Coach Jyda. Stay tuned after the break. All right, so you're welcome back from the break, and just before the break now, we were discussing about a lot of things with Coach Jyda. Now, Coach Jyda, you did mention that you do read a lot of books, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm to ask you, could you just suggest for our viewers back home 2 books, and why will you suggest those 2 books? Why those 2 books?
The first one I would suggest 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah, exactly.
Why am I suggesting that? It's because this is the program is for entrepreneurs, and this is a book that is going to help you, like propel you forward. Like it will help get you to where you never ever imagined. It's a book that I read twice a year. If I can, I read it 3 times a year. And I have a book for 7 habits, a journal that I do my 7 habits exercises. Every chapter comes with an exercise. So I would highly recommend each and every one of us get that book and read it. If possible, get the physical book, not even so that you can be able to jot things down. You can be able to highlight it. But then even our iPads come with those kind of highlighter, ebook highlighters, so it's fine. And the other one is The Power of the Subconscious Mind. The reason why I suggest that is because, like I said, I talked a bit about the power of subconscious mind, and that will help you it will go hand in hand with 7 habits. If you read The Power of the Subconscious Mind, you would understand what really the 7 habits is talking about. The fact that you have the power to attract what you really want, and it does really work. I've tried it with lots of my clients, I've tried it with my friends, and it has manifested. Yes, so I would say power of the subconscious mind and 7 habits. And for those who are scared to start what they want to start, I would say feel the fear and do it anyway. For procrastination, we can say Eat That Frog.
Eat That Frog.
Yes, and then there is a book that we're currently reading in our book club, and a lot of people have they like it and they love it. It's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Just ignore the title, and it's a book that I know a lot of people are going to like. Yeah.
Okay. Well, interesting. You did mention you have a book club. So like, how does it work?
So it's a book club it's a personal development book club. We only read self-help books. We start any read first of each month, and then last Sunday of each month we meet physically, and the others, the people that are from all over the world or from other parts of the country, they join us via Zoom. Exactly. And we discuss the book. You were once there.
Exactly. And
it's just so interesting, really. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting.
And you know, actually, one thing I believe about reading books is that when you read a book, it's like you're taking in the whole experience of that particular person who wrote that book. If that person is to be 60 years, you know, when he's writing books, he will narrate different stories that happen at different points in his life.
And you will live there.
Exactly. So like those 300 pages, it's like you've covered 80 years of somebody's life. So that's how important reading a book is. Okay, so now Coach Jyda, you're a life coach.
Yes.
You're achieving an incredible, like you're getting so much success from what you do.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I would believe my Serenity Club is going to be up and running. Okay. Yes. It's going to have
Serenity Club. When you say Serenity Club, what is Serenity? What is?
Okay, Serenity comes from. It's something I aspire or aim to achieve because peace is very important to me. Okay. Peace is at the center of my core values. It is important to me. Anything that doesn't give me peace, and I believe that if each and every person do not have that peace, that serenity deep within them, they won't be able to work at full capacity. They won't be able to give their all. So the Serenity Hub is going to be somewhere that it's a place that is going to have like different kinds of things. There will be therapy there. There would be a large library there. There would be places where people would, like teenagers would go hang out there in trying to escape the war, this confusing world. There would be marriage counseling there. There would be a lot of things that you do there. There would be cafes there, and the list is endless actually. But I believe that by then the hub is going to be up and running.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, interesting. I actually am looking forward to it. Okay, so now, Coach Jyda, if you look at it, I'm sure. Now, you said at first you had to sit down and come up with, let me say, I don't know, look for something that you will do to incorporate into your marriage life, right? And then you came up with this life coach of a thing and all. And I'm sure also there are a lot of viewers back home who maybe might want to go into life coaching or other things out there. Now, what advice will you have for young girls or women who are back home and will want to start something like that?
Yeah. I would first say that check if it aligns with your values.
Okay.
You have to. The reason why I hung on and I'm doing what I'm doing is because helping people comes number one for me.
You love what you do.
Yes, I love what I do.
That's key to
yes, you have to love what you do. It has to align with your life. It has to align with a lot of things. You have to, if you want to be a life coach, you have to have that zeal. You have to have that burning passion, and you have to believe that it's your purpose before you embark on this. And I want us all to believe that whatever you want to do, whatever your goals are, whatever your dreams are, they are valid and you can achieve them. I want us to let that sink into our subconscious mind that yes, you can do it. Yes, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. And the best thing for you to do is to start now, here and now, right now.
Exactly. And you know, talking about starting now, I think they said the best time to plant a tree was like 20 years ago. So the second best time to plant that tree is right now. So whatever you want to do, try as much as you can to do away with procrastination. Now, because of time, we'll have to call this a day, but it's been amazing having you on this show, Coach Jyda. Now, don't forget, you can reach her out on all her social media platforms. What is your handle?
Jyda,
Coach Jyda. And you can also follow us on all our social media handles at entrepreneur_IBM Bangis. That's ENTR_IBM Bangis. Stay tuned sometime next week. Do have a lovely day.